Imagine having a secret code present in you. A code which holds the key to your secret superpowers. A special Enigma code. Just like how the famous Enigma machine was used to crack code in the Second World War, we too have a special code in us waiting to be deciphered. Today, I'll be taking you on an adventure where we become detectives, solving puzzles of our own potentials and talents. Think about it. Every time you try something new or overcome a challenge, you crack a piece of your own code. And that code consists of you, your dreams, your potential, and your power to make a difference in this world. While working on my talk, I had an opportunity to visit a place known as Auroville in Tamil Nadu. It's a universal township built on human unity and self-discovery. There, I came across a quote by the great philosopher Sri Aurobindo, which changed my perspective. The quote says, "The heavens beyond are great, but the heavens within us are even greater." And that hit me. What if the real superpowers weren't outside, but inside us? And that's exactly what I'll be talking about today. Decoding our inner superpowers, but not the ones from movies like flying or shooting webs, but the kind that actually exist. Before I delve deeper into this, let me address the elephant in the room. What does science say about these superpowers? Well, research by the leading scientist Michael Messerich suggests that our brain is not a fixed machine. It can rewire and it can adapt through a process known as neuroplasticity. This means that you can train your memory like a champion, or you can even sharpen your focus to read emotions like a mind reader. This means that our brain is like a muscle that can be strengthened, sharpened, and unlocked. Now, before I talk about what we can do, let me get what we can't do yet out of the way. Time travel? Sorry, not happening. Flying? Gravity wins this one. Reading minds like Professor X? No. But here's the thing. We don't need those. Because what we actually can do is much more fascinating. Now you must have heard of the quote, "Not all superheroes wear capes." Well, there's someone who truly defines that quote. It's our parents. Think about it. Parents don't have super speed, yet they juggle 100 responsibilities every day. Parents don't have super strength, yet they carry the burden of their family's happiness on them every day. Parents don't have the ability to teleport, but they're always there for us when we need them the most. Their superpowers? Unconditional love, resilience, and unwavering commitment. So it's time we finally recognize their sacrifices, as they are the most unsung superheroes of all. Now the next superpower I'll be talking about is one related to our mind. Can you guess what it is? It's mind over matter. Now what does mind over matter even mean? It means using our mental strength over our physical strength. Now you must have heard of the quote, "Work smarter, not harder." Well, if there's any two people I can think of who truly define that quote, it's Tenali Rama and Birbal. Think about it. Did they ever use their physical strength to overpower someone? No. They used their wits. And just using that, they became one of the most famous parts of our history textbooks. But that's just one way how mental strength is used. Did you know that our mental strength is actually so powerful, it can overpower our physical strength? Let me give you some examples. Mountaineers, they keep climbing and climbing just to reach the peak. Their bodies want to quit, but their minds refuse. They endure harsh weather conditions just due to sheer willpower. Sadhus stand on one leg for years, but not because they have superhuman muscles, but because their minds have mastered stillness. Now you may think they're different from us, but they're not. They just train their bodies, push past their limits, and refuse to give up. And that's the power of mental strength over physical strength. Now the next superpower I'll be talking about is also unrelated to our mind. It's thinking outside the box. This means challenging the usual wisdom and thinking beyond They thought outside the box. As Eddie Zogt said, nobody changes the world by doing what the world has told them to do. Now the next superpower I could think of is one that is actually training. It's mind reading. Okay, now you can't literally read minds like Professor X, but you can get pretty close by reading people. What? Reading people? What is that? Well, research by the famous psychologist Paul Ekman suggests that people give off body language, tone, and micro-expressions which help the other person know what they're feeling. Great leaders and negotiators train themselves to pick up on these cues. How do they do it? Well, they observe, pay close attention to details. They recognize patterns as people's movement give off patterns. And the most important step, they practice the skill. This skill gives you an advantage in relationship, leadership, and even poker. Now the next superpower I'll be talking about is one that reflects my personal experience. It's none other than curiosity, the force behind every discovery. Now here's something interesting. Every superpower we've talked about till now revolves around one thing, curiosity. Don't believe me? Well, how did we discover fire? Curiosity. Why did we want to explore space? Curiosity. How did Newton discover gravity? Well, because an apple decided to attack his head. Imagine that moment. Newton, just chilling under a tree, probably thinking about life, when bam, an apple falls right on his head. Now most of us would just be annoyed. But Newton, no. He asked why. Why did this apple fall? And that led to one of the biggest discoveries in the field of science, gravity and the laws of motion. And here's the best part. All of us have the ability to ask questions, but some of us hardly ever do. For me, curiosity has always been my secret superpower. Ever since my early school days, I was always full of questions. So much so that sometimes my teacher even got annoyed at me. Whether it be a science experiment, a math equation, or an English story, I was always asking questions. Even in magic shows at birthday parties, I was so amazed that it led me to buying a book on magic so I could uncover and explore their secrets. This curiosity helped me to explore, learn, and grow. Therefore, I believe curiosity is a force that drives us into exploring the world and finding our own inner strengths and superpowers. Okay, now those were just some of the superpowers I could think of. But I'm sure there are many more superpowers inside every single one of you, which I may not have addressed. But now let's get to the big question. How do you find the Enigma Code to your superpowers? Now you may think this is like finding a needle in a haystack, but it's actually much easier. Here's the formula. 1. Try new things. You may never know what you're good at unless you try. Therefore, trying and exploring is the key to finding your secret superpowers. Push your limits. If you never push your limits, you may never know how far you can go. Ask questions. Every great entrepreneur, scientist, and artist had one thing in common. They asked questions. Thinking outside the box. Every invention and breakthrough came from someone who challenged the status quo, so dared to think different. And last but not the least, self-belief. As the biggest obstacle isn't talent, it's self-doubt. So believe in yourself. So friends, to recap, superpowers are real, but they aren't gifts. Superpowers can be obtained from training, pushing limits, and trying new things. And superpowers are not rare. Millions of people prove that every day. So the question isn't whether if superpowers exist, it's which one are you ready to unlock? Because remember, while some people spend their life wishing they had superpowers, others spend unlocking them. Which one would you like to be? Thank you.